High schoolers, this is Father Dries. Another couple questions you have here. One of them is Catholics and tattoos. Yeah, Catholics exist, and so do tattoos. I'm assuming the question though is, how do those work? Can Catholics have tattoos? What's the relationship between those two? Good question. Great. It's like just essentially, Father, what's your opinion on this thing? All right. So um, uh, is it morally permissible, Father, to get a tattoo? Well, it may not be morally, sinful, but I think the deeper question is versus like, well, is it a sin or not? Let's go deeper. Why? I mean, sometimes we can be very minimalistic and are like, well, if it's not a sin, it's okay to do, right? Well, that's kind of minimalistic. Well, if it's not going to kill me, it's okay to do it. If it's not going to hurt me, well, is it helpful though? There's a lot of things that are maybe not harmful, but they're maybe not very helpful. You can waste time. Is it harmful? Uh, anyways, so tattoo. So in the Old Testament, book of Leviticus, I believe, it mentions Israelites were not allowed to get tattoos. It doesn't go into a whole lot of detail, but probably because of the connection with pagan worship and kind of like they're set apart for the Lord. And uh, tattoos often, uh, I mean, even now, there's kind of pointing to an identity, the aspect of identity. People that are, want to get all these tattoos. There's something about there's an emptiness in kind of understanding who they are, their value, and so they're trying to find this identity with these tattoos, these marks. Maybe draw attention. Maybe they think, well, if I have this, they're trying to fill something. And this is even what we see like cosplay and all these people that want to like go to these conventions and stuff and kind of play make believe. It's like, well, but don't you want to live in reality? Like, I mean, yeah, maybe like little kids, kids and stuff like they want to play make believe, that. But like, there's something of identity. Like they're not comfortable in their own skin, and that's really Lord wants us to be kind of comfortable in our own skin, and that requires maybe some healing and receiving His love and receiving our identity from Him. So receiving our identity as beloved sons, daughters of the Father, as well as just kind of healthy relationships with others. That my relationships with other persons. There's a certain care that I receive from them, an identity that I'm a friend, I'm a son, a brother, myself an uncle. And so these different relational identities, when those aren't there, or there's a lacking, or there's just kind of they're not very strong. So we can start looking for, okay, how can I find meaning, value, and kind of cover ourselves, oneself. And there'd be different ways one can cover oneself. Maybe one's kind of certain dress, normally dresses or something, or certain gadgets. I try, kind of someone has the latest gadgets, not because they're trying to impress. They're kind of like, they're trying to find value in what they have instead of who they are, and receiving from healthy relationships, their love and kind of their identity in a healthy way. So tattoos often, especially when people get like a lot of tattoos, there's typically, what's where's their identity grounded in? And it's often they don't really aren't thinking that, that they aren't necessarily thinking at that deeper level, but it's kind of the thing. And so when older folk ask, come, Father, there's all these people with tattoos. I kind of have to gently say like, okay, why do you think that? Kind of help slow them down, because there's a certain brokenness, the emptiness that they're probably trying to fill, and they think these tattoos or this next tattoo it's gonna provide that, or this one, and it's not going to deliver. And so I think that's the deeper question. Why am I getting a tattoo? Like, is it out of identity, or is just a fact? And part of the fact is once you get a tattoo, it's pretty difficult, sometimes impossible to get it removed, and so it's kind of for life. Uh, and so there can be regrets. Oh, I wish I wouldn't have got that. I mean, I'm of the opinion with priests, it's probably not. It's not good for. I don't think it's good for priests. I don't know what they say. That's my opinion. To get tattoos, just because as a witness of God has made us good, and there's no reason for me to have to mark up my body and to somehow, yeah. So the other thing with tattoos, so one way to look at this, like baptism, one of the graces we receive in baptism is a character, a spiritual mark that kind of, especially a spiritual tattoo. Once you're baptized, you can't get baptized again. Part of that is because you receive this character, this mark, indelible mark, which really opens us up to a channel of graces. And the word sacrament actually comes from in Latin. First, before it was used by the church, kind of referred to the seven sacraments, referred to a Roman soldier. They were branded when they went to the army. Like, oh, that sounds painful. That probably was painful. But this idea they were branded with kind of the insignia of the Roman Empire, and like in a sign like I'm part of the empire, see, of the Roman Empire, and kind of this honor, a sign of honor. And so if they were a good soldier, like this was a sign of honor. If they were disloyal, it was a great sign of dishonor. I mean, a soldier who defects is going to get punished more than someone who else didn't join the army and kind of is a coward. So this idea, we already have the spiritual tattoo. And in confirmation, essentially receive another channel of grace, another spiritual tattoo to receive your identity from the Lord. So am I totally like against tattoos? No, I don't think priests should get them, but I think it's more asking that deeper question of why am I getting this? And this is going to stay forever. Is it something I really want forever? As you know, and kind of first addressing, am I secure in my identity in the Lord first? And I think that could dissuade most people when they really get to that point of like, why do I want this? I got what I need from the Lord. God bless.